When the Spanish conquistadors first came to Mexico, they brought with them a dance called the zapateado, meaning heel work. It is characterized by a lively rhythm punctuated by the striking of the dancer's shoes. This Spanish dance is marked by rhythmic tapping of the heels and very fast stamping footwork. Now the Mexican Indians combined a folk dance called the huapango along with the zapateado dance to the song El Son de la Negra, which means the song of the black woman. This originated in southern Jalisco, Mexico. The huapango is where dancers stand erect and shuffle their feet while keeping the torso from moving. Jalisco dancers primarily used their hands and feet, since they keep the rhythm with their heels. The zapateado dancers pound and tap their heels in a rhythmic fashion against the dance floor. Many times, the dance floor is damaged and dented by the pounding of the heels. The Mexicans gave up their soft, floppy huaraches for the stiff, polished boots of Spain, turning their feet into pounding drumsticks. And now, please enjoy our rendition of El Son de la Negra. España, la madre patria, or Spain, the motherland of Latino America, gave birth to some amazing artists within many artistic genres, whose masterpieces have become the source of inspiration to other artistic works by creative writers, singers, composers, and choreographers from all around the world. One of these amazing artists was Miguel de Cervantes Saavedra, a 16th century Spanish novelist, poet, and playwright. Cervantes' most significant work, Don Quixote de la Mancha, is regarded amongst the best works of fiction ever written. His work inspired ballet choreographer Marius Petipa in his creation of the ballet Don Q. The next three dance pieces were also inspired by Spanish culture. Two of these variations, the first and third pieces, were taken from the ballet Don Q. The second variation we will demonstrate is the Spanish version of another great ballet called the Nutcracker, which was also choreographed by Petipa. History tells us that on Christmas Eve 1944, the oldest professional ballet company in America, called the San Francisco Ballet, launched a national holiday tradition with the premiere of the Nutcracker. It was the first complete version of the ballet ever staged in the United States. As a result, this event is part of our 20th century California dance history. In this performance, the first Don Q segment will be presented by Eilish Zachary, followed by the Nutcracker piece danced by Kate Stanford, and the third piece will be performed by Jenny Wolk. Let's experience the wonder of the marvelous masterpieces Don Q and the Nutcracker. In the sober elegance of the candlelit colonial salons in Ponce, another kind of dance from Puerto Rico carries an aura of romance, of both secret and not-so-secret longings of well-balanced refinement. This dance, the danza, European in character, was originated in the 19th century upper class. It was a society dance. Very elegant, formal, and graceful. It started with a paseo, where the couples majestically passed each other down the ballroom floor. Ladies with their fans and ballroom gowns, men in their white ties and tails, all displaying grace and beauty. Nowadays, many are not aware of the actual symbolism behind the usage of the Spanish fan. But the truth is that the fan, combined with different gestures, became a secret language for young women of the 19th century to discreetly communicate with their admirers, and at the same time, they avoided the attention of a very protective parent or chaperone. The danza offered the grounds for a romantic evening. Today, we are performing two danza performances, both with music by composer Juan Morel Campos. The first one is the traditional danza, and the second one is a contemporary interpretation of the danza inspired by Juan Morel Campos's music. This second piece will be danced by Nicole Clark. Feast your eyes on the danza. Our next dance is called the Bamba. Bamba dates back to the early European colonial period in Puerto Rico. It comes out of the musical traditions brought by African tribes in the 17th century, specifically the Yoruba tribe in Nigeria. It is a mixture of 3 different cultures of the Caribbean, the Spanish African, and Taino cultures. The bass rhythm is played by 2 or more drums. It is one of the most engaging traditional musical styles of the island and creates the soul of today's Puerto Rican heritage with its drums replicating every single move of the dancer. In fact, the beat moves people to dance. The Africans cherished the Bamba. It moved them to dance and celebrate, helping them create community and identity. Through fiery drum rhythms and improvised dance, the dancers celebrated their lives. To them, Bamba was a source of political and spiritual expression. As it flourished, it became their most important social event. It was their entertainment and a means of expression. Bamba dances were usually performed on Saturday nights or on special occasions, such as the end of the harvesting period. These Bamba events were usually held on local plantations or nearby towns. And now, let us dance the Bamba! Our next piece celebrates the music of the renowned Hindu tabla percussionist Zakir Hussain. The tabla is an instrument similar to bongos, which is often used in Hindustani classical music and in the traditional music of India. Zakir Hussain and Tito Puente, a Puerto Rican Latin jazz composer, collaborated in creating various musical recordings, infusing the marriage of 2 different cultures, much like it happened many years before between Punjabi men and Mexican women. Men from India's Punjab province came to work in the fields of California primarily between 1900 and 1917. Only a handful of men brought their wives and families because most intended to return to India. However, soon it was not possible to bring the families at all. Marriages between the Punjabis and Mexicans began in the 2nd decade of the 20th century. Most descendants of the Punjabi Mexican couples were Catholic, and while most are bilingual, they speak English and Spanish, not Punjabi. The Punjabi men chose women of Mexican ancestry for many reasons. Mexican women were thought to physically resemble Punjabis, and many were beautiful. Mexican families picked cotton in the fields farmed by Punjabi men. The Mexicans and Punjabis had a similar material culture and shared a rural way of life with similar types of food, furniture, and so on. Let us enjoy the dance rendition of Zakir Hussain's composition. When we think of the tango, we think of the people of Buenos Aires, Argentina, who dance the tango in bars, cafes, and dance halls. It is the voice of the streets of Buenos Aires. Tango is a partner dance that originated in the late 1800s along the Rio de la Plata, the natural border between Argentina and Uruguay. It was influenced by the habanera, a slow dance from Havana, Cuba. The habanera was originally known as the contradanza and is based on the concept of a slow, deliberate walk to music, as in the tango. Tango music was brought into Argentina by European immigrants. In fact, it was in the early 20th century that Carlos Gardel, the most prominent figure in the history of tango, recorded his first tango song, Mi Noche Triste, which means My Sad Night. This song became a hit throughout Latin America, forever branding the tango with the feeling of tragic love as revealed in the song's lyrics. The most important part of the tango is that it's about 2 people needing to embrace one another and escape for a moment in time. It is within that moment in time that they passionately discover one another and live a lifetime. In this tango suite, the first section represents the traditional tango. The second section is a contemporary ballet inspired by tango music. May I introduce to you the tango.